Have you ever seen a brand just sort of appear and totally capture the feeling of a niche scene? Today we're diving into Truly Red Panda. You hear the name, maybe think cute animals, right? But nope, it's actually a huge deal in the cannabis solventless community.
Yeah, it really,
Go using an article from Nug Notes as our guide here. It really digs into what makes this brand tick. And our mission basically is to figure out how a meme page, a meme page, turned into this super sought after lifestyle brand
right.
with like actual cultural weight. It's pretty wild.
It is wild. And what's really striking from the get-go is, this wasn't some slick marketing strategy cooked up in a boardroom.
Right.
Truly Red Panda, its origins are totally in the traditional kind of underground market. It literally started as a meme page.
Just memes.
Yeah, think like slightly rough Red Panda drawings, often with the slogan, hash jars here. These were inside jokes, for the real hash heads, as the article calls them, people deep in that world.
Okay, so super niche stuff.
Totally. Not aimed at everyone. It was speaking their language, almost like a signal. It wasn't just trying to be funny. It was tapping into this desire for recognition, maybe a bit of playful rebellion about what they love.
Yeah, like an if you know kind of vibe.
Exactly. It built this strong sense of us.
And that's the fascinating part, right? These weren't just throwaway internet jokes. They resonated deeply with this specific community. And now, fast forward, that online humor is the foundation for a brand people actively hunt down in the solventless scene. And solventless, just for clarity, is that extraction method without chemicals, seen as more maybe artisanal.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Purer, more craft-focused. So yeah, it's a really unexpected path from memes to this.
Definitely. What do you think made it stick? Like, why did these memes become actual brand loyalty instead of just fading away?
Well, I think it hit on a need for genuine representation. The shared humor created community. And a huge piece of that identity, according to the source, became this ritual, the hash and coffee ritual.
Ah, yes. The coffee connection. This isn't just, hey, I like coffee and hash. They made it a thing. They're actually hand roasting specific beans, Brazilian ones, serving custom espresso at pop-ups.
It's deliberate.
Yeah. It feels like it's baked into the brand's DNA now. Rosin and caffeine together, like curating the whole vibe.
That's a great way to put it. It's about crafting an experience around the product, not just shifting units. The coffee adds this layer of maybe sophistication, ritual. It elevates it beyond just weed accessories.
Definitely. And then there are the bags, the Workin Here duffels.
Oh yeah, iconic.
Seriously, they take durable Carhartt gear and flip it.
Right.
Custom bags made just for carrying rigs, jars, tools, all the dab essentials.
Yeah.
And that slogan, Workin Here, or the Workin On Myself series, it's become like a badge of honor, hasn't it? Represents dedication.
That's spot on. It's more than just a convenient bag. That message, work in here, it connects because it speaks to the effort, the craft, the work involved.
Right, the passion.
Yeah. It subtly validates the culture, the pursuit of quality. It turns something practical into like a statement. Brilliant branding, really.
And it keeps going. The article talks about accessories evolving from memes into functional art. Like mini hash jars here, rugs. Who even thinks of that?
Right.
Or the hand-painted turf mats. And Skunk Magazine apparently called that little rug Tabletop Accessory of the Year.
See, that's the magic. Translating those inside jokes into real objects people really want. And calling those custom Terp mats rare drops isn't hype. It taps into that collector mindset they've built.
Like sneaker drops or something.
Kind of. Limited runs, unique hand painting, plus that community recognition like the Skunk Award. It all fuels that desirability. Owning one means you're plugged in, you appreciate the artistry of it all.
It creates buzz, anticipation, and building on that strong identity and these cool accessories, they got strategic with collaborations.
Smart move.
Look at this list. Archive Seed Bank for exclusive rosin and flower, custom coffee-themed packaging.
Yeah, the Moonbow S Talimon rosin for PuffCon 24.
Right? And Gelato 41X Dositos flower, then Astrolux for drops at Terp Basil, and War Carrots for Carrots in Here backpacks.
Crossing into streetwear there.
Totally. And even a limited stainless steel bracelet with N20, handmade in NYC, packaged by Action Matt Jackson. It's such a mix from established names to, like, underground artists.
And that's the point, isn't it? These collabs are strategic alignments. They're not just random endorsements. They partner with respected players in genetics, fashion, art.
Broadens the appeal.
Exactly. Adds layers of authenticity. And that potential collab with POW-based shows they're still keyed into the underground pulse.
But maybe the ultimate proof of their impact is what the article calls unclonable cultural influence. The fact that, like, underground dealers started copying their duffel bag look for their own weed packaging.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, that really shows their visual style just took over.
It really does. When people start bootlegging your aesthetic, you know you've made a mark. These weren't official collabs. They were inspired knockoffs using the TRP look. It shows how deep that visual identity penetrated the culture's look and feel, especially around packaging.
And they built all this with a super specific sales model, right? Direct to consumer only.
Yep. Red Panda Express storefront on Big Cartel. That's it.
No shops, no wholesale, all online. And stuff sells out fast. That mini cooler for hash, gone in hours, the article says.
That exclusivity is absolutely part of the strategy. Controlling the distribution, doing limited drops.
Creates urgency.
Definitely. Urgency, desirability. And it keeps that direct link to the audience, reinforces that insider community feel.
And it seems that community is global now. The source mentions seeing TRP gear everywhere. PuffCon in LA, Ego Clash in Spain.
All over.
This worldwide hashhead culture, as they call it, wasn't built with ads. It just grew organically through the drops and the community vibe.
And that organic growth is huge. It wasn't pushed by big ad spends or influencer campaigns. Not in the traditional sense. It came from genuine excitement, word of mouth within that solventless world. That kind of grassroots thing builds much stronger, more authentic loyalty. You know?
Makes sense. And the media started noticing, too. Hashtag called them a meme master and coffee connoisseur. That's quite a title.
Yes.
Leafly put the Carhartt duffel in a top stash bags list. Even the LA Times listed them as a sponsor at that Netflix comedy fest.
Mainstream nods.
Yeah. That's pretty significant recognition outside the immediate scene.
It absolutely validates their cultural weight, doesn't it? Solidifies their spot. Shows they've crossed over from just being a niche thing to being recognized by broader cultural outlets.
So when you put it all together, this it's Panda thing the article mentions, it clicks.
Yeah, it really does.
It's that mix. The sharp design, the storytelling that started with the memes, those limited drops creating hype.
The humor, the function.
Right, all those cultural references packed in. It's not just selling stuff. It's like the article says, ritual gear for the hash generation.
Perfectly put. They tapped into something more than just buying things. They built this whole world around shared jokes, shared passions, shared rituals. They get their audience. It's just a fascinating example of how a brand can bubble up from the ground level and gain real cultural power.
It's an amazing story, really. From memes to a cultural touchstone in that whole solventless space, it makes you think, about how powerful community-driven brands can be and how online culture can turn into these physical things people really value.
Absolutely. Which kind of leads to a final thought for you, listening. Think about Truly Red Panda's journey. How could other niche groups with their own inside jokes and ways of talking build brands like this? Brands that are just as influential, starting unexpectedly, but connecting so deeply with their people's rituals and style. It feels like Truly Red Panda cracked some kind of code by just being authentic and speaking directly to their community.